June is going to be an exciting month because you guys, I officially quit my job. And here's how our budget is planning to look for the month of June. Hey guys, I'm Marissa and welcome back to my channel. Here on my channel we talk about life and money and how you can enjoy life while still accomplishing financial goals through the use of a budget. So if that sounds like something interesting to you, then scroll down and hit that subscribe button so you won't miss any new videos. Today I'm sharing with you our June 2021 household budget, and I want to let you guys know the budget template that I will be using is one that you can get yourself on my Etsy shop. So I will have a link to that in the description box down below and you can check it out there. It's an instant download, works in Excel, Google Sheets, numbers, whatever you want to use. So as a little bit of big news, I actually quit my job. I have been working very part-time since I came back from maternity leave after having my son Peter a year ago. He just turned a year old in the month of May, and I worked full-time before I went on maternity leave and then came back at 10 hours and then went down to 5 hours very quickly, and I've been doing 5 hours for a while, but it just felt like it was time to be done, and I've been really gracious for my employer and their flexibility with me, but I just want to be able to have more time to spend with Peter and more time to work on my business of everything that I do on YouTube. So I did decide to officially quit that job. So that is now done. So with that, let's get into today's budget. So first off, we have our income section, and when I did have my job, I'd have Jacob's income and my income from my job blocked out, and then I'd show you how much I made from my business. But I now am going to be hiding all income, including what I make from my business, to give some more sort of privacy for that, from what Jacob makes versus what I'm making, and just with our employers and everything. So Jacob's income is blocked out. He works in product marketing, and then I bring home income from my business here on YouTube and everything that I do on social media. But as a grand household total, we plan to bring home $9,145 this month. So now to show you where we plan to spend that all, we use a zero-based budget, which means all of our income equals all of our expenses or savings, just all the money out. So first thing we have here is our tithe, and we give 10% of our income to our local church. We are Christians and we believe in giving 10%. So we are giving $914.50. Next we have is African New Life. We support 2 children in Rwanda through African New Life, which is $78 a month. And then missions, actually we're doing $40 this month into giving to another missions organization. Next we have is our mortgage. And this is exciting as well. I forgot to include this exciting news, but we have a lower mortgage payment now. Our mortgage payment will now be $2,220.50. We were able to drop PMI on our loan. We are so excited to not have that anymore. It was a little less than $100, but it feels good to not even have to worry about it. We ended up having a broker's price opinion. Someone came by and took a look at our house and decided that the value of it was high enough for us to have 20% equity in our home, so our lender was able to drop the PMI there. Honestly, this was all a little bit crazy. It was really a hassle, and I guess I just didn't receive all the information that I should have when we were signing our loan documents and doing all the things. I had thought that just once we reached 20% equity in our home, we could just get an appraisal or a broker's price opinion or whatever and be able to fully drop PMI. But the stipulation was that it actually had to be 2 years after the loan was funded, and I'm a little frustrated with this because I actually asked about this multiple times and was never told this information until I asked to get this appraisal done to be able to drop PMI. So the one thing that was outside of this that would have allowed us to be able to get out of PMI earlier was if we did renovations on our home, then they would then you could get this appraisal done before the 2 years was up. So we ended up doing a refinance on our home in March. We started the whole process in December. So I know that this sounds so silly. We didn't do an appraisal when we did our refinance because in December, we didn't think that we had 20% equity, but literally within 5 months, our house value has continued to go up so much with the crazy market that we felt like we had 20% equity. So I feel like it was so stupid because we literally just got our refinance done, and now we are asking to do an appraisal or broker's price opinion or whatever to be able to get out of PMI. But thankfully, we actually have done some additional work on our home. We have finished our backyard project. We put in new turf, made the backyard really nice, and so that was what enabled us to be able to get this broker's price opinion early. I will say the broker's price opinion only cost $150, and I was really shocked at that. I thought that we were going to have to get an appraisal and that it would cost like $600 or something, but $150 isn't bad. And the PMI that we were paying was a little less than $100. So basically within 2 months, it was a break even with the PMI, and so we were able to knock that off. I feel like that was a kind of a confusing story. But all in all, I'm just a little frustrated because I literally asked our mortgage people, which we did through like our credit union, and I asked them multiple times how it would, the process needed to get rid of PMI, and I was never told that it needed to be 2 years. And I understand, I signed these documents that said that, and I feel stupid because when you're given a stack of papers like this much, I didn't read all of it, and so I that's on me. I totally get it, but I literally asked them multiple times and was never told this information. So that was frustrating, but I'm glad that we were able to get out of it with the fact of we did renovations on our home that we just completed with our backyard. So that was a long story, but all that to be said, we were able to drop PMI, so that was like a big goal that we had for this year, which is now done. So our mortgage payment is now lower at $2,220.50. Okay, that was a long conversation. Next we have is an HOA, for our homeowners association, which is $121.46. Then we have water and sewer, which is around $93.85, around $95 a month. I'm not sure how much that'll be yet. And then we have natural gas, which is what we use to heat our home. This should be $40 or less because we're getting into summer months now. And then we have trash. We pay our trash every other month. This month is a trash month, obviously, so that was $58.72. And next we have is electric at $40, which is what we have all of our lights on for, is obviously electric. And then internet is $44.99 each month. We have our phones. This is for my cell phone and Jacob's cell phone, which is $109.59. And then car insurance is $109.64 for both of our cars. Then we have life insurance at $52.89. This is for a policy on myself and my husband Jacob. And then groceries we have at $3.50. The cost of groceries has definitely gone up. I hope $3.50 will be good, but we may need to increase this soon to be more like $400, especially now that we have almost a toddler, who is eating a lot more solid foods, and the price of groceries have just gone up. Then we have eating out at $100 to enable us the permission to spend to go out and eat at some restaurants, and we're excited to be doing that a lot more now. Next we have is gas at $50. We are still, I work for myself from home. My husband also works remotely from home, so $50 is really all we need to just get around town and just like little things that we like to do. Next we have is $50 for fun. So anything fun that we want to do, fun related, $50 for that. Then we have $100 for miscellaneous. You always need a miscellaneous category because there's always random things that come up. And so we have $100 budgeted for miscellaneous. Next we have is Peter. We put $50 a month into a brokerage account for Peter, and this is what we plan to gift him later on in life, like to help him with a car or even like a down payment on a house or a wedding, whatever. So we put $50 a month into that. And then $200 into Peter's $529 for college savings, which is pretty exciting. So all this money is money that gets sent out of our bank account. So that was $4,824. And next we have is our sinking funds, or our savings section of our budget. And I love this part because I love working on saving money for things. So first off, we have our emergency fund. We do have a fully funded emergency fund, so we are not putting anything into that right now. I have all of this blocked off because you haven't seen our May budget update, so you'll see all of those numbers once our May report goes out. So stay tuned. So then we have Jacob. Jacob gets $150 of personal spending money each month, and I get $100. He gets a little bit more because I am just more of a natural saver and I don't care to spend a bunch of money on things, but Jacob does have like specific hobbies and things that he likes to do, so I am totally fine with having him have $150 and me $100 because I just don't feel like I need $150, if that makes sense. Next we have is extra giving. We put $50 a month into an extra giving fund, which allows us the permission to say yes to additional giving opportunities if they come up, which I love having that there. Then we have $50 a month for gifts, for things like birthday party gifts, wedding gifts, baby shower gifts, a bunch of gifts and things. Then we have vacation. We're putting $400 into the vacation fund. We're going on vacation soon and I'm really excited about it. We have a Hawaii trip planned and I'm really excited to be able to finally go on vacation somewhere. Next we have is Christmas. We put $150 into the Christmas fund, and this is what we are saving up for every month, and then by the time that December rolls around, we'll have enough money set aside for all Christmas type expenses. Then we have car maintenance at $75 to cover any sort of car repair, maintenance, things that we may have to have for our cars. And then we have house maintenance at $375. The way that I figured this is I've taken our house value, roughly our house value, multiplied that by 1% and divided that by 12. So the goal is to save 1% of our house value annually. So $375 is about what we need to save to cover that, and hopefully we'll have the money there if we have any sort of house repair that comes up that needs to be paid for. Next we have is household, and this is just random things like detergent, soap, paper towels, toilet paper, all those sorts of things, and that is $100 this month into household. And then we have $100 going into the baby fund to cover any sort of baby related expense that we may need to purchase for Peter, whether that's a baby gadget, diapers, clothing, all the things for Peter is $100. Next we have is our brokerage account, and we have budgeted here $2,780.86, but you can see down here at the bottom of the budget, our difference, it shows $10 because I updated the budget earlier on, so I'm going to actually adjust this to make sure that this is a zero-based budget. Oh, what did I do? 70. Perfect. So we are putting extra money that we have into a taxable brokerage account. We don't actually, I just deleted it. We don't actually have a specific plan for this money yet, other than maybe we'll buy a car in a few years or something, but we're just saving money, investing this money that we have left over, maybe saving it for retirement, maybe saving it to be able to pay off our house someday. But right now we are just investing the difference in our budget and putting that into a taxable brokerage. So right now that was every extra dollar, which is $27.70, will be going to that brokerage account. And I don't love that we don't have a super necessary purpose for this money right now, other than just saving money. We also invest for retirement. We save at least 15% into retirement accounts, which we fully funded our Roth IRAs at the beginning of this year, and then we have money taken out of our paychecks for like Jacob's 401k, and we are also planning to max out his 401k this year as well. So we are saving for retirement before we're putting money into this brokerage account. But I know that maybe in a couple of years we're going to need a new car, and so I guess my idea is just that we'll be able to invest these dollars in appropriate accounts for the amount of time that we plan to have it in there for, and then we'll be able to use that money to cover these sorts of expenses, or also just saving it for future retirement, maybe being able to retire early or pay off our house early. Again, we really need to just like sit down and figure out what all of those goals are. I would say that the first one though is probably a new car soon, and we will probably just draw on the funds that we have there, but I'm not 100% sure on all of that. I'm just thinking out loud here. So anyway, as a total, we plan to save $43.20. Also, I will mention the brokerage account. This money is money that's obviously being sent to our brokerage, but I'm putting this in our savings section because I'll just make a transfer once a month once I know exactly how much money to put into it, because what actually ends up being spent or ends up being saved isn't exactly what we budgeted for. So we're putting every extra penny to this line item. So I just want to know exactly how much at the end of the month, and based on like other things that are happening in our budget, and then I'll just transfer that money out. So that's why I have it in the savings section. And I love that budgeting can be the way that you want to do it. There's no like right or wrong way. So someone may do this differently, and that's totally fine. So anyway, our total out, which is our expenses and our savings, is $91.45, which equals our income. and this cell here calculates a 0 base budget. The difference is 0. So we have every dollar assigned for June. I'm excited for this month. I quit my job, and also we now have a lower mortgage payment because we don't have PMI, which was a huge goal, and I'm glad that we have reached that. It feels good to not be paying the unnecessary cost of PMI every month. So don't forget, if you want to get this budget template, I will have a link to it on my shop, which will be linked down below. You can check it out there. And thanks so much for hanging out and watching this video. I will look forward to seeing you guys in my next one. Bye.
I once